Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thanks so much for joining me again for another video. This is about everything I got made in March that wasn't part of the So Frugal 22 challenge. So if you want to see the things I made for that, then I'll pop in a card up here. So March was actually really productive. I'm just looking around at the things I got to make in March, and I'm pretty impressed with myself, to be honest. March is a really good month on the sewing front. So I'll start with what I'm wearing, and this is the Made It Patterns Hug Hoodie, but the crew neck version. So I have made the actual hoodie, and I'll pop in a link to where I discuss that. And I just absolutely loved this pattern. I really did. I just thought it fits so beautifully. The little details in it are so gorgeous. So I was really keen to do the crew neck version, and here it is. So the navy is a beautiful French terry from Love Fabrics, which was a new to me fabric company, but I'm just so pleased with this. The quality is just beautiful. Oh, here comes the sunshine, fabulous. And the binding is just a cotton jersey that I bought from Crafty Studio. So it's not a ribbing fabric, it's just a cotton jersey fabric, but I think it matches really well. It's got a beautiful stretch to it and it's just really soft. It's absolutely gorgeous, so I really like it. So I've done the neckband, I've done the cuffs, and I'll stand up to show you the beautiful detail here of the crossover. And it comes to about hip level. I just think it's really pretty, and I just love this little rainbow fabric. I think it's gorgeous. I really want to buy more actually. So really pleased with how this came out. I think it's a really beautiful pattern. The neck binding element is absolutely beautiful. So I'll pop in a picture here, and I will actually, when I've finished discussing the jumper, I'll pop in the video of how I insert it in this jumper, and also the slightly different version that I did for the Waves and Wild hot coffee. So I'll pop that in a minute. So really happy with how this came out. I make a straight size 12 and I add 2 inches to the bodice. Otherwise it would be a little bit too short for me, but I think it's the perfect length now. I really like it, and it's got fabulously long sleeves, so I don't add any length to the sleeves at all, and it's perfect for those cold days. Yeah, you can see I didn't stripe match. So it's an absolutely beautiful pattern. It is layered, so it's very easy to put together, and it shows also which pages to print. So if you want to exclude the hood or things like that, I think that's very useful. So yeah, just really happy with this jumper, and I would recommend this hug hoodie to anybody. And I think I might have to make a couple more for the summer in beautiful summery fabric. So I might have plans for those already. So I will pop in the video now for the 2 neck bindings, and I'll see you shortly. So this is my finished hug hoodie, the crew neck version, and this is the neckline. I've overlocked the neckband, and this is the neck binding with the 2 little notches, and I've put in a little label, and we're going to put it just here. So I'll show you how to do that. I've now turned the sweatshirt inside out, and here's your neck binding. So I'm going to line up these 2 notches here with the centre back seam of the neckband. So matching up the 2 edges here, and I'm going to pin all the way along the edge. So I've now pinned this all in place. Here's the notches matching up to the centre back seam of the neckband. The one thing you do then is you fold in each end of the neck binding a little tiny amount and pin that, so that gives a very nice finish when you turn it under. So now all you need to do is stitch the neck binding in place. It does say to do it with a 1 centimetre seam allowance, but because I've overlocked and serged off the edges of my neckline, I've lost that 1 centimetre seam allowance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the stitch line of the overlock stitch here, so they match up. So it's not quite 1 centimetre, it's just shy of it. So that's what I'm going to do all the way along the neck binding and the neckline. So I've now stitched that all the way along here with a straight stitch. So if you flap this down, you can see here's the neck binding lying flush against the neckband. The next step is to give that a press, and then to fold this raw edge under twice and edge stitch it down. So you'll be edge stitching it onto the main fabric. So be sure to use the main thread here to match your binding, and then your bobbin thread to match the main fabric, because that'll be seen on the outside. So whether you want that to be a contrast or to match your fabric is up to you. So I'm now going to give this a press and fold that under and give it a pin, and I'll show you what it looks like after that. So here it is all pinned down. I just ended up folding it over once because this cotton jersey was being a bit unruly and liked to curl. So I've just folded it under once and pinned it all the way along here. And I'm just going to very carefully edge stitch, which is with a straight stitch, all the way along here to finish the binding. So here's the finished neck binding. You can see my edge stitching all the way along here in white, and on the back you can just about see it in navy. So it just gives one little line of stitching along the back. So that's how to do the neck binding from the Made It Patterns Hug Hoodie, the crew neck version. It's exactly the same with the hoodie. Obviously you just don't have the neckband here, you have the hoodie section, which makes it slightly more complicated because you have more fabric to work with, but the method is exactly the same. So I hope you enjoyed that and found it useful. Thank you very much. Hi everyone, so this is the back neckline binding on the Waves and Wild Hot Coffee hoodie. So it's a little shape like this. I've had a little label and it goes into the hoodie section, which I've just sewn with a zigzag, and I'm going to overlock. So the pattern instructions don't tell you to overlock the edges here, they just say to leave them raw, but I prefer the look of overlocking them. So I'm going to do this first and then you attach it to your back neckline of your hoodie. I've now overlocked the edges of that binding and I've pinned it with the right side of the binding against the right side of the hood lining. So then I'm just going to overlock all the way around the neckline. I've now overlocked the whole of the neckline. You can see the hood is in here. And if you flap this over, here is your neck binding. So what I'm going to do now is give this a press and pin this down, and then I'm just going to top stitch all the way along the edge. So that stitching will be visible from the outside, so do pick a thread that matches the outside of your fabric. So the next step is to move to your sewing machine. So this is the neckline facing all pinned down, so I've given it a good press, and I find the easiest way to pin along here, this is actually over my ironing board, so it's the easiest way to do it, so you get a nice kind of flat finish here. So I'm just going to bring this to my sewing machine and edge stitch all the way around here, and then I'll show you the finished result in a minute. So this is what it now looks like from the inside. So it's all edge stitched down all the way along the outer curve. And I'll turn it right sides out now and show you what it looks like from the outside. This is the back of the hoodie. So you can see this is the hood here. That's the centre back seam of the hood. And you can just see this line of stitching all the way along the outside. So I tried to do a matching colour, so it kind of matches that kind of bluey colour, but so it doesn't look that bad on the outside at all, I think, and it gives it a nice kind of professional finish on the back of the hoodie. So that's how to do the neck facing on the hot coffee sweatshirt. So I hope you enjoyed those videos, that you found them useful. I just think those neck bindings just add a beautiful finish, and I think you could add them to any other jumper pattern that you're working on. I just think it gives a lovely, lovely finish. So, and it was really interesting that I've now found 2 different ways of doing them. So anyway. The next little thing I got made in March was my Easter cushion covers, and I just love these. So I just brought one to show you, and here he is, the little bunny. So I gave him a little white cottontail and he's eating a little carrot. So these templates I got from a website called Nana Company, and it's a lady, I think Anna Sinabaldi, I hope that's how you pronounce her name, and I've recently discovered that she actually does some of the design work for Rifle Paper Company, which is really, really cool. So I downloaded these templates. I also have chicks, which I'll pop in here as well, which are super cute. And yeah, I just really like them. So I just scaled them up on my printer to match the size that I wanted. I measured my cushions that I have already and just made these, and I made little envelope back to them. So you can see here, and you just pop in the cushion in here. So yeah, all nice kind of seasonally appropriate Easter colours. And I just did a zigzag stitch all the way along the outside. I was hoping to do the applique, but I don't have an applique foot on my machine. I didn't know I needed one. So zigzag worked absolutely perfectly. So I think they're super, super cute and they look lovely on the couch. So after I'd done those, and then I realised it was St. Patrick's Day and the boys were having little parties down in creche, and I suddenly realised they had nothing appropriate to wear for Patrick's Day. So obviously you need to dress up if they're having little parties. So I had some green left over. So I quickly was able to whip them up these little t-shirts. So I downloaded this template from the internet, which I think works quite well, and I just did the zigzag stitch all the way along here. I realised doing this, it's very, very important that you have good thread. So I used my Gutermann thread on this, and on the other ones I had started with just some coloured thread I had left over, I think from just, you know, those boxes that you get with a load of different colour threads, and the other ones, they just snapped the whole time. So for this kind of work, it really, really pays to have good thread. So yeah, so there's a little shamrock. You might recognise the little rainbows. So I just thought they looked really, really cute. And this is the Waves and Wild Eclipse t-shirt, which I use all the time for my boys. It fits them perfectly. And for this, what I did was, I did a little twin needle. Can you see it properly? Let me hold it up. Twin needle of green, white and orange for the little Irish flag on the bottom. Again, not the best thread, so there's a couple of arguments, but I think it just gives a really cute finish. Yeah. Not sure anybody but me will notice, but I was super proud of them. So they looked very, very cute in these. And I got the white cotton jersey from Crafty Studio that I had earmarked for a little t-shirt for myself, but I got repurposed for my little boys, which I'm totally fine with. And yes, they did come back. They weren't very, very white when they came back after their party, but that's perfectly okay to show they had fun. So I think these are really cute and lovely for St. Patrick's Day. And another eclipse that I made, which was a little bonus make this month as well. We've had a few weeks of really nice weather in March, which was totally unseasonal but very, very welcome. So I realized my little boy, my older boy, doesn't have many t-shirts at all, so we need to stock up for the summer. But I did have this fabric for him that I was going to make in a few months, but it got expedited. So it's this gorgeous little dinosaur fabric that I bought from Crafty Studio as well. So again, Waves and Wild Eclipse t-shirt, the short sleeve version. And for him, I actually think I've gone now up to the size 5, but I've just given it a really deep hem. So as he grows, I can just let it down. So I think this is really cute. And he has worn this a good few days in a row, so it needs to go in the wash now, but I just think it's really cute and he's really happy, which does make all the difference. So I'll now grab my next make. As you can see, there was an awful lot going on in March. And here is my next little make, and this is my bra. I never thought I'd be showing people my bra on the internet, but anyway, strange things happen. So, and here she is. So I'll pop in a proper picture here, it might be easier. So this is the Evie Le Louvre Darcy bra, made from a bra kit that I got from Fabric Romance. So the kit was just fabulous. So the kit came with bamboo jersey, which is this lovely denim-y colour here. It came with the stretch lace, which is gorgeous. It came with the power mesh lining. It also came with, let me find them, the little bra attachments here, these little rings, and this slider. So everything you need. So, and I really, really enjoyed doing this. So I downloaded the pattern for the Evie Le Louvre bra, and I had a quick look at the instructions, and the written instructions, they were fine, but the pictures are beautiful and they're beautifully styled, but there's an awful lot of clutter in the picture, and I prefer just diagrams. I love watching Teresa from Lost My Thread, and she recently had a video up the difference, say, between having pictures in the instructions or diagrams, and I way prefer the diagrams. I think they're much better as opposed to, say, photographs of different fabric. So I know the Evie Le Louvre has had a video tutorial on how she did them, so I just followed that, and that was really, really good. So I really enjoyed watching that. It's done in different parts, so you can kind of take each segment as you go, and it was really, really good. So it's a really clever construction. Obviously I'd never made a bra before, hadn't a clue how to make a bra, and now I know what goes into it, which is really great. So I made the size small. So I measured myself and I was coming up with a medium. Then I realised I was wearing a padded bra. So I'm actually, I fell into the size small, and it actually fits really, really well. So I'm very, very happy with the fit. The only thing is that these straps could be a little bit shorter, but that's absolutely fine because they're on sliders anyway. It's just the sliders come down, say, more here than sitting at the back, but that's not a big deal. There was no sign of cup sizes on this. I thought there'd be a little bit about cup sizes, but there was no reference to that. But I was very happy with the fit on this anyway. And the lovely finish at the bottom is done by Pico Elastic, which went in very, very well. The folder of elastic I struggled with a little bit, so it's actually probably better on the back. There's more elastic on the back than there is in the front. I thought that was quite challenging as well, especially going over the V at the front. So you can see it's slightly curling in there. It doesn't when you're wearing it, which is fine, but just holding it up here, you can see that the V there isn't great. And then I think I got more confident as I did the straight sections down here. The way you attach the lace is very straightforward. You just put it in straight away at the start, and then you deal with, say, the main fabric and the lace as one piece. So that was absolutely fine. And then it was just really interesting to see how you attach the straps with the little loop at the back and the little clasps. So yeah, I just really, really enjoyed this project. I thought it was really great. You may not notice there are two little bows here. They're strategically placed because my seams didn't quite match up, but yeah, I don't think you'd notice, and I think the bows are very, very cute. So a little design element, shall we call them, not a mistake. So yeah, I just really, really enjoyed this, and I would highly recommend the pattern. I think it's really great. It fits me really well, and I think Steph does have some little kits left over on her website. I'll link them below, and I would really recommend them. I think they're great. They just give you everything you need in one little parcel, and it's a really fun little make. So yeah, there's my little bra. And my final make for March is my Fibre Mood honey blouse. So delighted with this. So I was inspired by Lauren from Guthrie and Ghani when I saw she was wearing the honey blouse on her Instagram, and I just fell in love with it. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. So it's got this lovely ruffle on the collar. It's got a lovely gathered yoke at the back, and then it has a beautiful tie detail on the cuffs. So really pleased how this came out. It is quite an involved make. Obviously with a shirt, it's got the yoke and the burrito method for the yoke on the inside. It's got the full collar, it's got the collar stand, but totally worth the effort in this, and I just love it. So the fabric is a beautiful, I'll hold it up here, it's a viscose challis, which I'd never worked with before, but it was absolutely beautiful to work with and pressed lovely as well. And this is from Crafty Studio. So yeah, as soon as I saw this fabric, I knew that it was going to be a honey blouse. So just really happy with it. So I made a size 12, which matched my measurements once I'd converted them from centimetres, because my brain doesn't work like that. And the fit on that is perfect. It is a very cropped shirt, so I actually added in 4 inches to the bodice and 5 inches to the sleeves, because I wanted it full length as opposed to 3/4 length like it is in the pictures in the pattern. But another change that I made, apart from making the sleeves full length, was to, instead of doing just a straight cuff at the bottom, see if I can try to hold it up for you. Hang on, there we go. Instead of just a straight cuff at the bottom, I actually made that a channel and put in a bit of elastic. So where it is full length, but I can still roll up my sleeves, which I'm really happy with. So I did add in the little sleeve binding here, which I didn't think I needed initially, but I do, because that's how you attach the full little tie here. And that was really straightforward to go in, actually, because I was reading the instructions ahead of time, and Fibromood instructions, they're a little bit sparse, shall we say, and this bit I just couldn't understand reading it, and I was like, this makes no sense. But then actually when I sat down to do it, and it just went in so beautifully, I was like, oh, actually no, that makes perfect sense, and now it looks really great. So that came in out really well, and then you just tie. So I actually ended up sewing these together as well, so just doing a little stitch here, so if it does open, then the whole thing doesn't flap open, and then I just keep that in a little bow. So very happy with how the sleeves came out, really well. And then I just love the gathering at the back. I think that just gives a beautiful detail. And of course then the lovely collar with the frill here. My insertion of the collar stand didn't go very well, but hopefully you won't notice. And a cute little label here that says eat sleep. So absolutely delighted with this. I have worn this out and about, and it's really comfortable, really pretty. A beautiful way of turning up the hem. It turns into itself, and then you've got a lovely enclosed neat little point here, which is really nice. And I added on lovely glittery buttons, which I love. Those, can you see there's little glitter in those buttons, which I love. So yeah, very happy with it. So size 12, I did send away for the A0 pattern to be printed, which was great because there's quite a number of pattern pieces in this, and I sent away the one that has the seam allowance only, so literally you just have to cut one line, which made my life so much easier. So just be aware, because I did buy the PDF version of that, you do get the A0 with the seam allowance, which is great. That's it. Oh yes, so for the collar, because I have made the grain line Archer shirt, that made inserting the collar a little bit easier, because I knew where it was meant to end up. So but the instructions for that are a little bit tricky, and the collar stand, yeah, it's not the best, and there's a little kind of bit of excess fabric in it, but it looks fine when you're wearing it. I don't think you'd notice. But yeah, I really would make this again. I'm getting more and more confident now with Fibromood patterns. This is my second one, and I think they just have the most beautiful patterns. So gaining confidence each time, and learning new skills for sure with those. So very happy with my honey blouse. I'll pop in a few pictures obviously because it'll be easier to see, but there she is anyway. And very happy with the sleeve hack, making that long length and adding in the elastic. Thought that went really well. So there we go. There are all my makes for March. So as you can see, along with all these makes and all my So Frugal makes, it has been a very busy month. So I don't have quite as ambitious plans for April. I think I'll take my foot off the pedal ever so slightly. But I hope you enjoyed that. I'd love to see what you've made for March, and also your plans for April. So that's going to be in my next video, a very short and sweet little video on my plans for April. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all safe. I hope you've enjoyed So Frugal 22. I know that I certainly have. So thanks again to the lovely girls for organising that. So the Yorkshire Sew Girl and Frugalissima. I will hopefully see you very soon for my April plans video, but I hope you're all well. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye. Bye.